All right, here we go. Day 2. Let's see. Let's go over something. I want to talk about something. First, I want to preface with something. Then I want to talk about something, and then I'll wrap up with an idea about what I think is going to happen. Was I covering the mic again? Next few days. Okay. First of all, I was just thinking as I was having my breakfast about how interesting it is that the timing of all of this. This is just to say, in case you don't know what's going on, I'm going to the States tomorrow to interview for a job, and the videos in this series, the Return to the USA series, are all about documenting this process, this potential, the actual experience of whether I get the job or not, and what happens from there. So it'll be an ongoing thing. But I was just thinking how interesting it is that my daughter is 13 years old, and possibly, my wife and I were talking to her more about it last night, and she may possibly be going through a near identical experience that I went through at the same age, 13. When I was 13 years old, my parents, I've told this story elsewhere, did what we called the Odyssey. They, inspired by hippie influences, my father quit his job. We sold our home. I've told this story in this series, actually, so I'll be brief. Sold our home and took off, living the hippie vagabond life in a Frito-Lay potato chip delivery truck. Truly, say goodbye to family, friends, everything, with no anticipation of ever returning to that community and no idea where we were going to wind up. I was 13 years old when that happened, and I remember the whole experience very well. And I remember the leading up to it. I remember saying goodbye to my friends. I remember not knowing where we're going to show up every day. Every day my dad would sitting in the captain's seat of the chair there with driving the potato chip truck. He'd wet his fingers, stick it out the window, and whichever way the wind was blowing, that's where we went. And we wound up buying a 10-acre ranch for $20,000 out in the Antelope Valley, near the Angeles National Forest, out by Lake Hughes. Complete shift from the Hollywood Riviera lifestyle. Literally, that's the name of the place we were living. Really amazing, but quite exclusive in some ways, to basically becoming almost like hillbillies out in the middle of nowhere. Parents joined the Grange. My brother and I went to this tiny little, almost school. It was just complete change. And I was applying that memory to what my daughter's going through, and I was trying, of course, each of us is different, but it gives me some perspective, I think. Now, of course, I went through it with my brother. Emily doesn't have any siblings to go through it with, so there's that difference as well. But I think it's interesting that Emily's about to go through the same type of thing. I would like to think that, and I do think that experience in part instilled the wanderlust in me, and also gave me part of the sensation that I have, or the way I apply life in terms of taking risks and being willing to give up the past and give up particularly possessions. It's interesting. I've given up the past many, many times, but I don't give up people. There's people I've drifted away from, but I don't think there's anybody that I've ever given up. So it's not a thing about giving up people necessarily. It's about giving up the possessions and the stuff that we have in order to start over again and to recycle into a new environment and new experiences, and to add to the depth and depth, quality, and character of life. Now, it doesn't mean you can't have depth, quality, and character and stay in one place all your life. You certainly can, but it's a different type of texture. You can stay in one place all your life and build a rich and deep connections with the people around you, and be and members of the community that you're in, and create a wonderful home and hearth and family, and establish long-term connections there. And likewise, you can do something similar in the vagabond lifestyle. But they're different. They're different in many ways. So there you go. We're about to do something. We're thinking about doing something that may give Emily an experience similar to what I knew, and to a different degree what my wife knew. Her story. I hope she won't mind me sharing just a little bit about that. Her story was that she lived in this community. This is Yada. This is the tea farming community. 50 years ago when my wife was born, this was all just tea farms here. These houses weren't here. I've seen a lot of these houses come into existence. It was all tea fields. You can see some of them right up here. Let's take a look, and I'll take you back and show you this factory in just a second. This is important too. fortuitous that I took a walk this way. It's Sundays, but I don't have to go to work. I just stepped out the door to make this video. See this field right up here? When my wife was a girl growing up here, that's what this was all. It was this whole area here was just fields everywhere. There are these little paths, you can't see any, but these little footpaths that go through here. And that's how Yumiko, her school was way over there, a long ways over there. And she would meander, thread her way through the rice paddies and through the tea fields and through the vegetable patches. Well, there's a path right there. Let's take a look. She would walk on those to get to school. Imagine it's very, very nostalgic feeling for the Japanese. A young schoolgirl with her land sail on her backpack, walking along the path. See, there's some artifacts of it there. Here's one of those little trails right here. You can just you see how you walk along on these? And Yumiko would do that to get here and there. See how the trail's back there? I love this kind of stuff. And she grew up here, and her family has been here. Let's go back and look at the factory here. Her family has been here for more than 400. How does that math? For more than 400 years. I've been here a long time, and nobody ever went anywhere. In those 400 years, they basically all the contrasting types of lives we were just talking about. I mean, that's taken it to the extreme. They were villagers. They were farmers. They had a hierarchy of clans. No, that wasn't a clan, but it was a hierarchy of who was the head man and the like. And the samurai had his place over there in the feudal years. Now this right here, this building right here, this is the community tea processing factory. It's actually a collective that is managed by my wife's uncle. This whole facility here. This is where they take the tea after the tea is harvested in May, and they process it here, and they sell it out of this door. And I've looked at this mural for years. This mural is a very special one to me because it basically shows a woman tea farming in our community, or hand-picking the tea with other women, and there's a dog bringing the lunch, and there's Mount Fuji in the back. Isn't that nice? I love it. So Yumiko, this is where she grew up. And when she was in high school, she realized that there was a big wide world out there, and she wanted to see more of it. No one in her family ever went to college either. And so she resolved that she was going to go to study overseas. She had a pen pal in Humboldt County, where we ended up meeting. And Yumiko got 2 jobs after high school, working day and night, and saved enough money for a study program overseas in Humboldt. And she left to come to the United States. And when she left, and I hope she won't mind, how was that, Mass? I hope she won't mind if I actually share this, but when she actually left, it was without the support of her family. She told me that when she went to board the train to come to the United States, she did so. She had her bag. I'm sorry, the people around, and it takes my thoughts away. Partially because I feel like I'm making them uncomfortable. That one woman, I think she was pretty uncomfortable. So I'm sorry. She stood at the door. She opened the door, sliding door, gotta, and she said, "I'm leaving," in Japanese. And her father just sat there on the tatami, staring at the TV, wouldn't even say goodbye. And I've heard that kind of story from other women who have left. Usually it's women for some reason, who have left and gone overseas to study as well. Families don't support it. And she went over and then compounded things by very quickly meeting me. And then that just made things worse. But anyway, she went through an experience of self-promoted. What I mean by self-promoted is self-initiated. That's a better word. Self-initiated experience of adventure as well. Now, it's a long-winded intro. I can't believe we're at 9 minutes, and I hadn't even gotten to the point I wanted to make. So anyway, Yumiko and I, that's how Yumiko and I think we got the wanderlust, and how we've been living that way all of our lives. And now we're giving a chance to introduce our daughter into it. We already began the process when we brought her over here the first time, but she was only 3 then. She can't remember it. Now she gets it. Now she'll get it. Oh, we're going to do the big burn. Let's go up here into the temple. The shrine, actually. This is our village shrine. So anyway, let's get to the point now. The point is, what am I going to do if I fail? That's the point of this video. This video's title will be "What if I fail?" or "Failure" or something like that. What if I get over there and I interview for this job and they select somebody else, which is quite likely. There's like I said, I don't know exactly how many, but I think it's like around 10 guys or gals altogether. And I'm sure that if they got through that automated filtering process, they're pretty qualified people. So there's by no means certain I'm going to get this. What's going to happen if I fail? The answer is really simple. I'll fail. That's it. I'll probably go, oh, I'll get the message, I'll get the letter, the phone call, and I'll go, oh, crap, I failed. I didn't get the job. And I'll be down. And it won't be a happy day. But you know what? I'm not trying to put a happy spin on it. This is just really what I'll do. I mean, this is just the reality. What else can I do? I'll get on the airplane, I'll fly back to Japan, I'll enjoy the rest of the winter holiday with my family, and then I'll start work, and I'll continue with things, and I'll continue putting applications out there, and I'll continue, with my job that I have here, and maybe go back to the mountains and, resume being softypapa and all that kind of stuff, and just carry on. That's all I can do. And that's all right. I mean, it's kind of like when I'm hiking, and sometimes this happens a lot because I explore in wilderness areas where there are no trails, and so I'll be going up a canyon, and I'll see like a fork in the canyon up there, and I won't know which way to go, and I'll choose the left route, and I'll plow up that left route, and I'll get up there a ways and come to a big obstacle that I can't get over, maybe a landslide or something like that, or it's just too dangerous to get over alone, because I'm very careful when I'm hiking alone, and I'll simply say, well, this didn't work out, and I turn around and I walk back down, go to the other way up the canyon and try that route, and I keep on doing that until the hike is over. Likewise, I'll continue doing whatever routes I have opportunity and an inclination to explore through life, as long as life goes on. So that's really all I can do. Oh, and this kind of dovetails nicely with a video. The first video I made before I started this series, this countdown, was a video called "A Canyon I'll Never Explore." It's just to back up there a little bit. You can see it on the channel. I uploaded it last week. And in that video, I don't talk at all. I just have a camera on a canyon, a beautiful canyon that I know I'll never explore. But I never said why I'll never explore that canyon. And except I said it in comments. The reason is that I tried. There's about a 60 meter, 200 plus foot waterfall at the beginning of the cliff at the start, and then up at the top there's cliffs at the top. There's no way. I don't rappel, I don't climb and stuff like that. There's no way I can get over those obstacles to explore that canyon. Likewise with some things in life, I could try, like I did try to explore that canyon. I made my way down and I got up and I found this giant waterfall. It's actually a video called the Stream of Consciousness Waterfall Hike where I did that, and I got to the waterfall and I was like, wow, this is amazing. That was quite an adventure. What an experience. But I'm not going up there. There's no way I can get up there. So there's some things in life are like that as well. And in a way, if I fail, it's almost better in some way. No, it's not better. I didn't mean to say that. I've created a little mini series here, a little dialogue, a little story that's unfolding as I make my way towards this goal and try to get this job. And in some ways, for the story's sake, I would almost prefer, if I could write the ending, I would write the ending that I don't get the job. Not to have a sad ending, but to have the type of ending that is more meaningful, I think. Happy endings are nice in their own, but the challenging endings, the endings that leave you disappointed, but give you an opportunity to move, to muster your resolve and move forward into something else, are I think more meaningful and more. Yeah, I could use the word instructive, because I make a lot of these videos for my daughter, and I'd like to have her see the example in the future of Daddy trying, failing, and continuing on. I would love to close this story saying, that didn't work out, and then the end of the last part of the video is, you turn around and say, well, I'm going to go try something else. And you go off and do it, and not attributing it to, not attributing the failure to the fates, or to determinism in any way, or that it shouldn't be, but simply say that I either didn't have enough preparation, or which wasn't the right guy, or somebody else was simply a lot better than me for this opportunity, or I just had bad luck, but nevertheless, it doesn't mean I'm going to give up on things. I'll just go and find another path. And make my way under my own steam, and without expectation of support or aid from others. But of course, when it's received, I'll be appreciative of it. I think that would be a good way to close things off. You know, getting the job will make a nice story as well, but not getting the job and then moving on from there might also be better. So maybe it'll be beneficial in that way. We'll see. So I think I'll close off with that. Oh, well, last thing I wanted to talk about what's going to happen. But look at this. I'm at the shrine. This is where they're going to burn. We're going to have our autumn festival soon. We're going to burn all of this stuff. This is right to my father. This was the biggest event of the year back in the day. My father-in-law told me that when they have this will be a giant bonfire here, and we won't burn any cats. I just recently, in my meandering researches, discovered the medieval, ritual of cat burning in Europe. It's sad I even brought it up, but I mean, it's like one of those things that's like, really? What's the species about? Cat burning. Anyway, you can look it up on the internet if you want. It's like, anyway, this is our thing, and this will be a big festival here, basically celebrating the harvest. We'll have a giant bonfire here. You know, the women will be cooking food over here. The men will be all getting drunk up there. It's just a great party. Usually Mully comes over, and Tomoko, and we sit up there and we get drunk with the old guys, and it's fun. And hopefully I'll be back in time for that. Either way, with the good news or with the news that I didn't get the job. Well, either way, we'll have a little fun if I'm back in time for this. So anyway, the last thing. What's going to happen from this point forward? Today is my last day before I leave. Today I'm going to get a haircut. I'm going to get my clothes in order, pack my bags. Tomorrow morning, and I'm going to get some Christmas gifts together for my nephew and my niece and my brother and my mother. And then from there I will... tomorrow morning I'm taking the bus to save a little bit of money, so I'm going to take the bus up to Tokyo, get to the airport. I fly out in like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and Delta Airlines, my brother will pick me up at the airport the same day. It's funny, I leave at 4 o'clock leave at 4 o'clock on the 23rd and arrive at like 12 o'clock on the 23rd to go back in time. And then from there I'll be there. Then the very next day, that'll be Christmas Eve, the very next day I'll be, I get up and 10 a.m. I have the interview, and then after that in the afternoon I have an appointment with the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles, to renew my license or get a new license, whichever one, and then we'll go from there. And I may know very soon, shortly thereafter. Like I said, I'm the last one they're interviewing, whether I get it. Now you guys, if you follow this far, wow, you may know that I make these videos, but I also plug them into a blog. My blog is over on my WordPress blog, and usually I add more. There's kind of a value add. I add more information there. I'll usually do a write-up that adds more contextual information as well as some photos. And I will be doing that with this one. But from this point forward, since I'll be on the road, I'll probably just be uploading the videos without the blogs. But I'll probably add the blog entries later. And if you're curious to see more about what's going on, then I encourage you to go have a look at my softypapa blog. That's actually it's more of the Kurt Bell blog. Softypapa's really not around anymore. That guy got lost in the woods, although he may come back. So go check that out. And but from now on until I get back from Japan, it'll probably just be videos only. All right, after this one. So thanks a lot. 18 minutes. Gosh, it's been forever since I've made a video this long. Sorry. I guess I had a lot more than I thought I had to say. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. The next video will be tomorrow. I'll make a video the day one as I depart. Take care, everybody. Bye bye. Hi, everybody. I'm back just for a second. I want to share a thought. I continued on my walk after I made the first part of this video. I've been walking for another 40 minutes or so. I'm walking along this little stream here, and it's so nice. I walk along the stream often, although I rarely make videos here. And I always love seeing the quality of the water. It's interesting. Today it's crystal clear and very smooth. And I was just kind of meandering a little too close to the edge there. I didn't fall in, but I was just looking at the fish and looking for crabs. And something came to mind that I think is relevant to what I'm about to go through, hopefully, and what others might. See how the water's over there? It's a pool. It's a beautiful reflection of the clouds. It's deep over there. I was looking at the fish over there. Deep and still water. And then up here, it gets into the shallows here. Rocky. kind of shallow and difficult. And then over here a little further, it gets deep again, and then there's another pool. And if you go up this river like this, it's like that all the way. Pool, and then shallows, and then pool, and then shallows. And I was just stopping here, and I was thinking about the fish that I was seeing over there. Let me see if I can show you guys the fish. And I was thinking about the fishies, who are always in the same place. There's a school of fish. Let's see if I can find them. Where are you guys? They're always in this little deepest area here. The safest spot, perhaps. Where are they? Sorry, farther back than I thought. Stop falling, Kurt. Usually they sit still, and then they see me, and they move a little bit. Did I pass them? Hey, fishies. I'm sure I must have passed them. Maybe up here a little further. Sorry. Oh, I must have passed them. Anyway, they're in there. And the thought that was going through my mind was, I wonder if one of those little fish, or maybe a small team of them, could make their way up through the shallows at that little rapid area there, and into that pool above, from the one area of water to the next. Where are you guys? There's crabs in here too. And I was thinking, yeah, and my eyes were kind of picking out a little path that they could take. Oh, there they are, right there, there they are. Here they are. See them moving down there? All the little fish? And I was thinking, I wonder, they're always there. Actually in the same area, they're a little school. They'll sit quite still unless I move by, unless I move. Anyway, and I was thinking, I wonder if they could make their way up here, across this barrier, to the pool beyond. And then it dawned on me, that's kind of exactly what my family and I are likely to do, and have done, and others do as well. It's not all about me. This is, hopefully extrapolating to the human experience. We're attempting, we've been living in a pool, safe pool here in Japan for the last 10 years. Very familiar, very comfortable. We always hang out in the same place. You have the same people. It's good life. But now we want to go up to a pool up there. But to get there, we're going to have to cross through this stuff here. And it's not going to be easy, but if we can work it, we can thread our way through. I think right there, and then through the reeds, and then through the muck, and then we're into the clear waters above. And I think that that's a good, kind of a fun analogy to the experience that we're about to have. It's going to be tricky in here. This is the part in here where we're going to be getting rid of all of our stuff. And then we're going to make it way over to the States. It's going to be real rough going for a while there, where we transition and try to figure out where, this is going to be the rocky part here, try to figure out how to make our lives work, how Emily can find things. There'll be some distractions with some side chambers here that may be dead ends, but if we can get underneath all this muck and stuff here and through the crud and stuff like that, and then through the kind of the mucky, murky waters here, we'll be onto a pool out there, just like a pool elsewhere. I kind of like that analogy. So I thought I'd share it with you. So I'll sign off for now and continue walking and thinking a little bit, and then have some breakfast. No, actually, I had a salad earlier, now proper breakfast with my family. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching.